Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Rich and Eeyore, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your girl's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The motivation and the little corrections that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give a correction, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on her training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Eeyore will come home with her very own training collar, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, she's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is particularly important to our city dwellers, so the command is Eeyore, heel. Heeling is proper leash walking. Walking next to you without dragging you down the street, being more focused on you. As you can see her looking up at Rich. If he changes direction, so does she. She's very in tune to what he's doing. And then each time that he stops walking, she's been taught to sit automatically to wait for her next command. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should be sitting nicely at your left, not lunging out or pulling you down the street. She should be sitting nicely and waiting for her next command. Very good, Eeyore. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. And you can practice your stationary exercises right indoors, and it helps to build a bond. It helps to develop self-control and focus. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her as an additional distraction, returning all the way back to where they started, and he gives her a pat for praise, and they're going to take off heeling again. And remember, practice this heeling on your walks. You have to give her some freedom to use the bathroom, but when it comes to just walking for exercise, she should be heeling nicely at your left. And when you stop walking, she should sit automatically and wait for her next command.
Stay.
Rich leaves her in another sit-stay. And this time, instead of returning all the way back to her, he's going to demonstrate the come on command. It's Eeyore, come. He said it softly but sweetly so that she is encouraged to come to you. Then she returns back to heel position and back sitting, and she gets lots of love for that. Coming to you is always a happy command. You always want her to feel confident that when she comes to you, she's going to get praised for coming. Nice automatic sit. And Rich will demonstrate that come on command again. So you leave her in a sit stay, you walk out to the end of your leash and you turn to face her, and then you're going to use her name, and she comes right in and sits right in front of you, facing your knees. And this is one of the things that she has that's been troublesome with her, is her not wanting to come on command. And that's more off leash when she's free in the dog yard. And I would strongly recommend that you continue to practice with her. If you need our help, we're here for you. But she is a corso, and we want to make sure that you keep her under control as she's maturing. Now this time, Rich is going to demonstrate the down from a heel position. So with her seated at your left, use your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down and stay. The sit-stay when you're practicing at home is going to be for 30 seconds, working up to 3 minutes, and the down stay is going to be for about 1 minute, working up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her, again, as he did on the sit-stay, returning all the way back to heel position, and he tells her to heel, and she gets up. At that point, she's waiting to get her next command. She's a darling little girl, but she does have a temper. So again, focus on practicing her obedience skills and making sure that she knows you're in charge. We're just going to demonstrate that down from a heel again. And let her hold those commands. Practice right in your living room where it's nice and toasty warm. This time Rich will call her out of that down. He praises her on the way in so she knows it's a good thing to come and sit. And then she returns back to heel position and back sitting. Very nicely done. Now the last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is her down from a distance. This is a little bit harder exercise because you're not right next to the dog as you're giving the command. So with her seated at your left, you're going to leave her in a sit-stay. You're going to turn to face her, and you're going to use your right hand. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the command. And you put her into a down from a distance. And she couldn't have done a better video if she had tried. Now, we've demonstrated for you all of the formal obedience commands that Eeyore learned while she's been here at school. Amanda will go over everything with you and answer any questions that you have that is not obedience related and that is obedience related. And we're always here from you. We want to hear from you and how she's doing, her progress at home. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.